Today's video will be on surface area of prisms and pyramids. Okay, so our learning goals for today, by the end of the lesson you'll be able to calculate the total surface area of prisms and you'll be able to calculate the total surface area of pyramids. Okay, so got some key ideas here. So the total surface area of a solid is the sum of the surface areas of all sides. So I'm going to bring out my trusty tissue box. The total surface area of this tissue box would be the surface area of every single one of these sides added together. So to make this easier, we can draw net drawing. So a net drawing is a two-dimensional illustration of all the surfaces of a solid. So for instance, I've got here the solid, next to it the net, and then the way to calculate the total surface area. So the solid here would be a rectangular prism on our first one. So it's got rectangular faces. If we were to actually fold it out, we could see all the shapes that it's made up of there. So you can see we've actually got three lots of two rectangles that are the same. So this rectangle here, which is the length times the width, which is the base, is exactly the same as this one here, which is the length times the width, which is kind of like the top. So in my tissue box, the top of the tissue box here is exactly the same as the bottom. So if I could work out the surface area of those, so it would be 2 times the length times width. So to work out the surface area, I do the length times the width, multiply that by 2 because I've got 2 of those identical surfaces there. I've also got 2 that are the length times the height. So the length times the height, which is like the 2 ends. So for my tissue box, the 2 ends are exactly the same. So I do the length times the height, multiply that by 2, so I can work out the surface area of those two sides. And the last one is the height times the width, which would be these two sides here, which on my tissue box would be this side and this side. So they're kind of, I don't know, front and back there. So I could do the width times the height, and I could get the surface area of this side, multiply that by 2 because it's 2 identical sides there. And that's how I'd work out the surface area of that rectangular prism. So it's a similar thing for a square-based pyramid. I don't have one of those on hand in my office here, but if you were to fold it out, what you can see here is the base is actually a square, and coming off that square we have 4 identical triangles. So to work out the total surface area, you do the surface area of that base, which is just side squared because it's a cube there, a square there. So side times side, and then you'd add on the surface area of 4 different triangles. So the surface area of a triangle is a half base times height. Multiply that by 4 because you've got 4 identical ones there. Okay. So we'll do some worked examples here. So we're going to find the total surface area of this right rectangular prism and this right square-based pyramid. Okay, so for A, we've got the rectangular prism. Now, the surface area of the rectangular prism is going to be 2 times, we'll do this side first, so the height times the width, plus, because that will do the front and the back there, I'll change my colour. Then we're going to do 2 times length times width, which will give us the top and the bottom, plus, and then I'll change my colour again, and I'm going to do the height times the width to get the 2 sides there as well. Oh no, I've already done that one. What have I done? Length times height, sorry. Length times height. There we go. So I can fill those in. So that's going to be 2 times 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3 times 5 plus 2 times 2 times 5. So that will give me the area of all those different rectangles, which I can add together there. So this one will be 12 plus 2 times 3 times 5 is going to be 30 plus 2 times 2 times 5 is going to be 20. Add all those together. 50, what's that? 62 centimeters squared. And that will give me the total surface area, total surface area of that rectangular prism. So for B, the total surface area of that square-based pyramid is the base squared, because it's a square, so it's just side times side, plus 4 times the surface area of one of these triangles. And you can see the triangle, the formula for a triangle is a half base times height. We can fill in our values. So for our square base pyramid, it's going to be 2 squared plus 4 times a half. The base is 2 and the height is 3. So that's going to be 4. Oh, that should be a 4 there. 4 plus 4 times that thing in brackets. So 4 plus 4 times. So a half times 2 is 1 times 3 is 3. 3. So that's 4 plus 12. Add that together, and that's going to give me 16. Oh, not centimeters, it's meters. So 16 meters squared for my total surface area there. So I've just broken down those shapes to work out the nets, and then calculated the surface area of the nets. It's as simple as that. So a bit of a short video today. Just make sure you understand each of the concepts covered.